Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's Just the Spin. I'll give Katie Gannon some credit for that. She wanted a shorter name. John said he had recommended it, but here we are. The Spin, November 22nd, Thanksgiving Eve. Tyler is recording this from his potato, I think, in Kentucky. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is my parents' dining room in Kentucky. It's way out in the middle of nowhere, so we're operating off of hotspot. So we'll see. Just everybody hold on.
Yeah, well, hopefully you'll be able to hang in there for us. John is stuck in the lovely Houston traffic, trying to get home, so he will hopefully be here in about 5 minutes. But yeah, let's see who we got here. Travis, good evening. The other Travis B. Very, very busy day with podcasts for a short week. A lot to talk about.
In the off-season week, there's a lot to talk about, which is
Before we do that, if you notice at the bottom, brand new sponsor, ESC Sounds. They're jumping on the barbell spin train. So they just released a new mini speaker. So I have not gotten it yet, but it is on order. So definitely interested to see that and try that out in the garage gym. But definitely, if you are in the market for headphones, earbuds for CrossFit, or a speaker for your garage gym, check it out, escsounds.com. Tyler is now frozen. Asymmetric ears. Does Thirdsy work? So yes, 100%. I don't know if Tyler has seen it or if he can respond.
Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Yeah.
Before I tell my story on Thirdsy, what about have you had any success with trying Thirdsy?
Yeah, I was not used to taking sleeping stuff before taking Thirdsy. When we did, it knocked me out pretty hard. And I was not expecting it. So yeah, it's good. It works.
Yeah. So I have a Whoop and I track my sleep, and I've not done it consistently, which is actually probably better for tracking it. And what I did it 2 days in a row earlier this week, and I was at, let's see, I did 2 days in a row. I was at 97% recovery, followed by 89%. And then I didn't take it the last 2 days, and I've been at 50% and 46. So it doesn't knock you out. I don't think that's the intent, but I think it's to help you just relax and sleep better, right? Like, it doesn't have the melatonin, so it's, I think that's probably a good thing these days, is not to be on that. So I 100% recommend it for that. And they have a new formula than I think the bag that we have. Like, they came out with some new flavoring and a different type of magnesium. But from what I understand, it's actually a better magnesium that they've put in than the test bag that we got. So John Young, sleep deeper. See, even while he's not on the show, Mr. Young still can help. Travis from Vindicate, do you actually stay asleep? Most sleep stuff, I wake up after a couple hours.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean,
I usually have trouble staying asleep. I got to go to the bathroom or something. And when I take that, when I take Thirsies, I don't wake up.
Yeah. I mean, it's, I don't think it knocks you out like others, like different things, but I think you have a better percentage of sleep. And when you are asleep, it's a better sleep. So higher quality, you wake up more refreshed. Whoop tells me I'm more recovered. So I don't know about John. I don't think that's what it's supposed to do. I think that's on your own terms. So anyway, John should be here in a minute. But
what else is there to talk about? I was going to say, before he comes on, anything just kind of extra that's gone on this week?
I will say that I did talk to Justin Romer of Foster Fit. Pretty cool article I put out, what they're doing. So Justin was actually adopted when he was a child. And so he wanted to give back to kind of that community of youth that are kind of in that system, and those that may not be able to be adopted but are going through the foster care system. And so because he's been with CrossFit, what he did was he's created a nonprofit organization to help primarily teenagers, because they just have the ability to kind of go to CrossFit and do that type of stuff, but to pay for their membership at a CrossFit gym, so that it helps them physically, it helps them mentally. And so what they're doing is the first week of December, I think it's the 4th through the 10th, the official submission of it is they're doing a 5-minute burpee challenge. It's something they do every year as a fundraiser. It's $25 to join and to compete. He said there might be some prizes. I don't know, but it's really more for the kids. And it takes about $1,200 to support one kid. They have 12 on their roster right now, and they have open applications, and they're always looking for other children in that situation who would benefit from it. And so wrote that, and I thought it was a pretty good thing by Mr. Romer. He's also the founder and owner of CBG Nutrition.
Yeah, it's a really nice little thing. I'll make sure I do that. It seems super helpful for nothing. Also, I haven't done 5 minutes of burpees in a long time. Like, I don't know what I can hold for 5 minutes.
I remember doing the 7-minute burpees in the open. Was that 2012? That was a rude awakening of how badly that hurt.
You did that open?
Yeah.
Man, I wasn't around for that one. Yeah. That I feel like I could hold, I don't know, 15 to 20, somewhere in there, but I don't know. Probably at the end, it's got to get really, really bad.
I think back in 2012, I think I got like 96, and then I retested it a few years later and was at 125, 126. So yeah, it was, that was one that was a surprise when he came out with that. But then you see Hiller programming in the open, so it has staying power.
John says he got 100 right at, and his was right at 5 minutes. So yeah, it's got to be right there at 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
There it is. Who's Alan? I don't know. All right. Hopefully John jumps in. He has some big thoughts on the Triple Crown.
We can probably start slow on the Triple Crown and then just let John lose his mind when he gets here.
It won't take long. All right. So I think everybody's kind of talked about it. Obviously, Savan did his show after the day after. I think Talking Elite Fitness was talking about it this morning or this afternoon. But we obviously want to give our take on it. So the Triple Crown, Dave Castro in his week in review shared his, I guess, idea, concept, spent lots of time adding
his idea.
Yeah. And, did a lot of time crunching the numbers. Adding up a couple numbers was tough. And kind of went through his thoughts of having the games in Rogue, and he tried to figure out a third one and was with Wadapalooza as a Triple Crown concept. I think there's a lot more that can come of it, but at this point, it seems like he's just kind of flying off the cuff and kind of.
I thought it was brilliant, from the idea that it's like he didn't do anything, he didn't commit to anything, and now look, everybody's like spinning out of control, trying to think of content, do content, like, in Heat 1, if you pay attention, we're going to do stuff now on this, and it's like all he had to do was hint that it was going to be legitimate, right? And it's
Right.
like, I don't think they have to do anything more than like say they're going to give a little bonus to the winner. Like, how much more legitimate do you need to be?
I mean, I think it's definitely good marketing for Wadapalooza. You know, I don't know if it'll convince anybody at this point, but at least at this point in the stage, and like you mentioned earlier on some text messages, was it got everybody talking, right? Like Dave is the only one from CrossFit right now who has the ability to go out and get people talking when he doesn't say anything official, right? Like he comes out and he's like, "Hey, I was just thinking about this, adding up numbers. Here's the standings," and then everybody kind of goes crazy and is weighing in on that.
I wonder why. What's driving me nuts is that he included the games already, and that I just, to me, I want to go Rogue, Wadapalooza, and then the games. It doesn't make any sense to do it this way to me. Am I the only one?
No, that's a very good point. I hadn't thought of it that way, but the way that I think there's a better format, which I'll get into whenever John is able to get off the traffic. But I think it does. How do I say this? It lowers the prestige of the games to some degree.
I have not considered this. Okay, can you elaborate, John? As John breaks in,
Mr. Young,
what's up?
Just
guys?
in time. Just in time. So, what I just said, if you didn't catch it, does the Triple Crown not may delegitimize or lower where we place the games in relation to other events? And Tyler had not thought about it. And my rationale is, if you, and especially the way that he does the points right now, if the games is worth a third, Rogue is worth a third, and Wadapalooza is worth a third, and you're going to say that this Triple Crown is like the biggest thing you can win all season,
I don't think the game should be a part of it.
Right. So the Triple Crown would be higher than any three of those events, right?
And why do you say it's higher? I guess I don't understand that. Like,
because
to me,
the
it's
games
not.
is a third of it.
Right.
Oh,
it's just one third.
That's why, like, if you include the games in it, then it in itself is higher because it takes more into account. But like, I don't think we would look at it as delegitimizing the games. Like, as far as, so say Jeffrey Adler wins the games, and Vellner won Rogue, and then Vellner did Wadapalooza and Jeff didn't, and Vellner wins the Triple Crown, right? In no way do I think Vellner is fitter than Jeff Adler. I don't think that should count. Like, I don't think we would look at it like that. But I do see what you're saying. It depends on the price, the money, right? If the Triple Crown gave you more money than the games did straight up by itself, then it would. Then the Triple Crown is the thing. It's like it's the thing.
Yeah.
What happens when what do they call it when a horse wins all three races?
The Triple Crown.
Yeah. That's what Caroline is saying here, is like, shouldn't it be winning the top three events, not just off a point system?
Well, we've talked about that before, like with Fraser. I think Fraser's the only one who like could have done it, or Tia did it because he won Rogue in the games, and then whatever, I think Dubai, like all in the same year. But he didn't do Wadapalooza. But I always saw it as the three off-season competitions. I thought the three off-season, and it should be a separate. And the games is still the Super Bowl, and then you have Dubai, Rogue, and Wadapalooza. I think that's the best way to do it if you want to do it. If the games is a part of it, it just doesn't make a lot of sense because It's a different qualifying system. It's not an invitational. It's you know what I mean. It's so different than everything else.
Yeah, I mean, you have if you think about golf, they have the 4 majors, and some people hold the Masters in higher regard. Some believe the U.S. Open, right? The British Open, if you're across the pond, you think of that as probably more important, especially for those guys. And then winning all 4 is the Grand Slam. I think we need to
And the grand and it's not like it's an achievement, but it's not like it doesn't go into your profile of you know what I mean? It's just something you've done that nobody else has done, or this is the hardest thing to do, right? And I agree with what Carolyn has said. If you're not, I think we should have a different, like the Grand Slam doesn't say like, if you win this award and you don't win all 3 of them, but you win for a cumulative score, which is how he worded it, correct?
Right. Yep.
Then it should just be called something like the off-season champ, like or the the winner who didn't win the games, or we need a whole different name for it and not call it the Triple Crown. I think the triple. If they wanted to, they should list these things, the games being one of those things, if they wanted to use the games, and then say you get $500,000 if you win all 3.
Well, and then it jumps into that tier of what Spin's talking about.
Go ahead.
It becomes more important than the games at that point to me.
Yeah, then the games.
No, it does. Absolutely, it does. But it's so hard to do that unless you're Tia or Matt. For instance, when Tia retires, you think Laura can win all 3? I don't. You know what I mean? All 3 of those competitions are not going to be strict handstand push-up event. Like, I think when, like, Matt and Tia are separate, but I think it'd be really hard for Rich to win all 3 back in his heyday. If he did Dubai, you know what I mean? Like, that program, it's just a different style of programming.
Did you see our new viewer? Tyler, do you want to?
No, I don't know Sadie. Hello, Sadie.
What's her full name, Tyler?
I can't say that word.
Oh, I get it. I was the last one on that one.
Yeah.
Does that make sense though? If they want to use the games, then they need to make it this pinnacle thing, but it should be winning all of them.
So you're also not thinking about, like, you have to win the games to win this event, which is another reason it should go last, in my opinion. But then, like, can you think about this? Like, you're going to give $500,000 extra dollars to the person who already won the games, who got $325,000.
Yeah, but it's this really hard thing to do, and I would argue, if you're Matt freaking Fraser, you deserve it. Because anybody except those 2 can't do it, and we don't have one right now. Right? As soon as Tia retires, there's not going to be one. So say they implement it in 2025. I think it's going to be extremely hard for somebody to win all 3.
Yeah, especially on the men's side. Where my mind goes to this is it's you have kind of like 4 big ones, right? You have the games, Wadapalooza, Rogue, and I would say you need something overseas because right now it's all U.S. based. But
traditionally, it'd be Dubai. Traditionally, I think Dubai has went down in prestige. That could be the French Throwdown. It can be Filthy 150. It can be whatever you want it to be. But I agree.
Yeah, you need to have at least Dubai. One over there to have the big 4 column majors. And the games, though, is, you think about worldwide rankings, like free passes to the games for the top 5 or 10 from this season. And it gets people competing throughout the year. And there is prestige of winning all 4 because you'd have to do that. Or you wouldn't have to because you could qualify through the standard process. But if you're if you're Laura Horvath and you want to do those 4 events, you're going to be top 5. you can skip through everything and make it to the games automatically from those.
Or I tell you what, you could call it the triple. You could call it the. I agree with the people in the comments that say I feel like you need to win it to call it the Triple Crown because that's what the horse racing thing is. So, but you could call it something different. And then if you won all three, and it be held as like it's just these three that that's the winner of these three, or you take the top 10 of those three, like your ranking system of those three, right? Y'all can tally however that works out. But and then the top 5 or top 10 get an automatic bid to the games. They don't have to do anything. They don't do semifinals. They automatically get a bid to the games. And then the games, it's its own separate thing. And then if you win all 4, that gets some kind of special title.
Right. Yeah, just like golf.
Like it's a Grand Slam.
Like,
right.
And that's the thing. You have to incentivize them, right? Like, right now, there's no incentive to do it because we just have the games. And, if you don't go to Rogue, okay, right? Like, Medeiros didn't go to Rogue. He's not going to, I don't think he's going to compete as an individual at Wodapalooza. So, like, you see him in semifinals and games right now, but give them a reason to compete. There's some benefit to it. You don't have to worry about, having one good weekend in semifinals to make it to it.
I actually think it would take the pressure off too. You're not, you are not expected to win every event, right? Mm-hmm. Like golf, like Tiger Woods ruled the world. He didn't win every one. He won like half of them. Like when he was in his prime, he won like half of them. People expected Tiger to win because the other half was a bunch of random people, right? Still great golfers, but Phil Mickelson 3 out of 20. You know what I'm saying? And then like so it'd be like things like that, right? Like you wouldn't be expected to win. I know like somewhere in that interview he said like, I don't want to put out what's not my best because then people will have their talking points and blah, blah, blah. Right. There's not that pressure at all for anybody. Right. Because you're all just competing and they're all different. Rogue is different from Dubai. And we say this repeatedly. Dubai is different from the games. Semifinals is different than the games. That would just be sorry, that was the nurses. I'm at the hospital right now, FYI. So if I have like interruptions, that's why.
Everything okay, John?
Yeah, my wife got surgery 2 days ago. She had a bowel obstruction, and we had like an emergency run to the hospital. It's been a whirlwind for a couple of days, but she's good now. She's taking a lap. She's walking a little shuffle walk around the floor. But yeah, that's why I'm here. But anyway,
still working.
Yeah, I mean, I have my priorities, Tyler. I don't let a marriage get in the way of what I need to do. Okay.
I let anything get in the way.
And John has better internet. No dogs, better internet. This is great.
Yeah, this was a win-win. I mean, I was going to be 10 minutes late
from civilization. I can't help this.
She's doing fine now. Like we just have to be here until her stomach starts working again. So that's why we have to be here for a couple of days. But everything's good though. She's got a couple stitches in her stomach. That's it. But where were we at?
Here's one from Asymmetric Ears. It seems like CrossFit is in too much of a state of flux to even consider something like this.
They're not considering anything. They're not doing anything. That's what I keep telling everybody. Like they didn't do anything. They're just talking about it.
Yeah, but if enough people talk about it, they're more influenced to do something than not do anything. Right? Yeah, I agree with you, Tyler. I'm very skeptical. I don't think anything like this. I don't think it's going to happen at all. But if it did happen, hopefully they take what we say into accordance. They did for the quarterfinals. They listened to us for that. Maybe they'll listen to us for this. You know what I mean?
Just say the opposite.
So I agree with you, Tyler. It's probably not going to happen. It's probably wishful thinking. But
I think
if it did happen, it'd be cool.
I think they'll do something but like they don't have to do that much. Like it incentivizes itself. It's already like it's going to be a long reach.
No, you
And the
just said
fact,
this is what's going to happen.
right? The fact that we're even tracking it though is going to create content and controversy and creates more off-season content alone. So that's why I think it's great. It's like they didn't have to add that much value. They just acknowledge that it's a real thing. And I think that that's what they need to realize from this is like, hey, dear Dave, like realize the power that you guys wield. I don't think you guys wield it with respect. Like all you had to do was hint that this might be a real thing. And look at what everybody's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you wouldn't even have to have more. If you like the automatic game spin that Spin said, I think is genius. If you take the top 5, it doesn't even be a lot. Those 5 people would have made it anyway, right? The top 5 get an automatic game spin of whatever ranking system you want to do between the 3 competitions. Rogue, and you leave the games out of it, and then you can call it the Triple Crown, but whatever. Yeah. And then it'd be Rogue. You pick a European one, and then Wadapalooza, and you can honestly rotate those. Probably like I said this on Brian's podcast, maybe the other one. Like you always keep Rogue. Rogue is always there. Mm-hmm. Wadapalooza, you can flip-flop East and West. So that means all the good people will do West one year, all the good people will do East one year. It's a way to keep that flowing, right? And then because they're trying to make that happen. And then European one, you just rotate. Sometimes it's Dubai, sometimes it's French Throwdown, sometimes it's Filthy 150. 2 weeks after the games, you announce this is the Triple Crown competitions. Like this is what it is for this year. And then you don't do anything else. That's it. That's all you have to do. You don't even have to give out more money. Top 5 get an automatic game spin. That's it.
I don't like the idea of changing them. I think it should be the same ones. So are you saying like if I did a European one, Wadapalooza, I skipped Rogue, but I won the games also, do I win the Triple Crown?
No, like games isn't part of it.
It's really not. Think of Triple Crown as an achievement of winning the big 3 off-season.
It's like winning the Open.
Right. I like something you did being a part of it, but I understand what you mean.
And so it creates a season. And I think to John's point, we know what Rogue is, right? Like it's the strength-based event. There she is.
She's going to kill you, John.
Oh, she looks great.
Yeah. Wadapalooza it has a certain style, right? Like there's a lot more swimming. You're confined in what types of events they can do just from how the layout is of everything. But if you do start throwing that out and saying like this CrossFit sanctioned event, like the French Throwdown or Down Under Championship or Dubai, like they have the ability to have different styles of programming and what you think of the competition itself. And so it does mix it up a little bit versus having the same 3 each time.
I guess I'm thinking about it from like more of an accounting or marketing standpoint is like, if I know that I might have it this year, but like if I'm running Wadapalooza and I know we have that distinction this year, but might not have it next year, that would upset me. And I think it would detract on a long-term basis.
Think about it. If you think about golf, like other than the Masters, all 3 other majors rotate around to different courses, right? So if you think about the US Open, they go to the same ones over and over and over again. They go to Pebble Beach, they go to, I can't remember, Oakmont, I think it is. Like they go to a bunch of different ones.
St. Andrews, I think they do a couple times.
That's for the British Open, right? So like if you think about it, a Wadapalooza as a course, right? So this year they're going to go to the Wadapalooza course event, and that's one of the major events this year versus Dubai or Down Under. And so it is more global. They have the ability to, Dubai programs differently.
Way like 2 weeks after the games, where everybody can plan.
You could do it even earlier than that, right? Like at some point, even during the season, like, hey, next season, here's what the schedule is going to be. Everybody's aware.
Tour de France does that. They announce that stuff like years before. Yeah. They have the route. before.
Yeah.
You actually, I think you accidentally brought up a good point. Like Wadapalooza is not a CrossFit. They're not a CrossFit sanctioned event. He just put them in there.
I love that backhanded.
Yeah. Well, I think again, that's where
Backhanded
if you're a
kinda dick.
sanctioned, they do have. I mean, it is the CrossFit. I mean, Dubai used to be sanctioned, right? And they withdrew. But there's a benefit to doing that and being able to put CrossFit on your name. So I think it provides a season structure. It gives a way to make those events exciting. How you do the points to get into an automatic qualifier that could be discussed later, whether it's, and again, if you did worldwide rankings in a way where it was important, and you'd have feeder systems too that come into it, right? Like you do the second tier. Like there's a whole lot of possibility for this. I just, from an actual practical standpoint, can somebody pull this off? That's a bigger question that we can't answer at this point. But just from
What's
a
there to
framework,
you mean just going through the logistics of planning and doing the whole thing? Like you think that'll be okay? Fair enough.
Right? Because it feels like just like we had a structure in place last year, we're going to keep this. We're going to run with it. We don't want changes, and now it's 25% go to quarterfinals. The semifinal things change. Like I get that, Justin's out and Dave's in, and there's different thoughts, but you can't just always do this year after year after year. You have to have some consistency. And if we just change this, and then let's say in 2025, it's okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have this off-season competition and structure. And you're like, well, what's it going to be in 26? Like,
I don't think you should make it a big thing. Just like Tyler said, you acknowledge it, and then at some point you say, these are the 3 we're doing for the Triple Crown. And then I feel like you can rotate them if you want. I feel like the way I said it was like the best way to do it. You rotate the European ones. Wadapalooza, you go east or west. They rotate each year. And then Rogue, you always keep Rogue. I feel like that way would make the best way to grow the sport across the country. And like when I say European, Down Under can count as that too 1 year.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then they just cycle that stuff until it's like, and say it grows bigger in Europe. Europe will probably grow into like, these are the 3 kind of ones that have separated themselves. Then it just rotates out of those 3, right? And I think just acknowledging it and saying, and then all they have to do, like you said, Brian, is just 5 people, the top 5 in the ranking system go to the games automatically. That would influence everybody. Why would you not do it?
Right. There's prize money. If you know you're one of the top 5,
you don't even have to give extra money, and then you just acknowledge these are the 5 people. This is the top 1. You don't even have to call him the Triple Crown winner. It's like he's this girl or him, guy or girl, is the top person. And these are the top 5.
Right. And if they win all 4, they could be the Grand Slam winner.
If they win all 3, then
it's not.
Yeah,
It's a crowning achievement. It's not like some official thing like Dave is kind of talking about.
And it makes it easy on HQ.
They get to skip semis or go straight to the games?
Yes, they get to skip semis.
They finish Wadapalooza, their 1st through 5th place, skip open, skip quarters, skip semifinals. They're in the games. And
they're the hunt method, like that spot's already taken up. So it's not like they get an extra spot. So for instance, say Jeff is one of those spots, right? He was North America East, right? North America East would still get 10 guys. It's just there's only 9 spots available because Jeff is automatic.
No, I wouldn't even do that. I would just do the DeHunt is based off of the remaining worldwide rankings.
Oh, 35. So it's just based off of 35 spots. Yeah, it's not hard. Yeah, I agree. It's not hard.
So clock, because it's easier to qualify through the open and quarterfinals than it is to go hard in off-season contests. The thing is,
but semifinals is stressful, man.
I think off-season contests might be better. Like you have more time to prepare. It's a lot more relaxed than just semifinals. And
you don't have to peak.
Right. You win money for it. Like unless you get first place in the open, you're doing it for 3 weeks for no reason. quarterfinals are stressful, and you're now worried about
It's just a lot of hassle that I think a lot of
online
people
judging. Yeah, I mean, if you put the tape line wrong on accident, or somebody does it for you and they mismeasure it, they don't read a standard right because Tyler likes so many rules. Like all of those things, you mess up, and now you're 41st in quarterfinals. You don't get to go to the semifinals. Right.
And what Craig said, the top 5 would qualify without this. Absolutely, they would. But there's going to be 5 people no matter what. And that's a spot taken from them. And that makes semifinals that much harder to make. Because if say the top guys are like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to travel this much. It's so easy for me to make it anyway. Then somebody like, I don't know, Danny Spiegel will just get to go to the games. I guarantee she does them all. And if enough top people don't do them, she goes to the games automatically and takes a spot away where she didn't make it last year. Like it's not a given. And that's the point. I think a lot of top people would do it. And honestly, say you get like third in 2 of them, you probably have enough points to make it even without going to that third one. Like that's
probably that, but
I don't know about that.
I bet it's close though. Like I bet you don't have to do all 3 of them. You know what I mean?
I think you'd have to. The points would have to be that in a way where you have to go all 3.
And we don't know until we see them.
But,
I just think not a lot of people do all 3 though. Is what I'm saying.
But this format also gives you 2 opportunities, right? Like if you're sick in the open, or you're sick in quarterfinals weekend, like you could easily miss out on your entire season. Like Travis Mayer with his wrist injury could have qualified for the games because he could have made it through Wadapalooza and then had 4, 5, 6 months to then rest up and then get top 5.
What I'm wondering though is like, does it give those people an undue advantage or such a great an outweighed advantage because you didn't have to prep for semifinals? It's huge. And the people who had to go to semifinals and qualify through semifinals did, and now they have to go to the games. Like, I feel like that's going to make a huge difference in how you compete and how you prepare.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
So if you win if you get top 5 in the Triple Crown race, like by the point system, right? So you qualify to go to the games without going to semifinals. Those people don't have to peak for semis. They get to spend way longer peaking for the games. Is that an unfair advantage for the people who had to go against the people who had to go to semifinals? Does that make sense?
No, because you got to rest. Like those people get a month off and then they get to peak. They're not peaking for the Open. The Open's easy.
That's what I'm saying, though. Is it insurmountable if you're somebody who went to semifinals? Like it's a totally.
I don't think so. It is way different, but I don't think so. I think for that 6th or 7th person that went to all 3, that tried their best and still didn't make it, that person gets screwed a little bit. But it's almost like you choose to race the race you want, right? And that makes it a full season. It really does. Everybody takes a month off anyway. A lot of them go into Rogue not peaked out. That's why you thought Travis Mayer was going to do great, because he had the whole off season to do Rogue. Do you think it influenced it that much? I don't. He got 6th place like he always does at Rogue. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. It is a little bit of an advantage, but it's not. I don't think it's. They're professional athletes. If we want to treat them like professional athletes, we got to treat them like that, right? It's not. Yeah. We can't just say it's unfair for this person. It's fair for this person. This is what a season would look like. Y'all want this season so badly. That's what it would look. This is a way of doing it.
I mean, it creates a ton of drama. I like it overall. It's just different.
Yeah. Barkley Dale, what's being described as a reframed sanctionals structure.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, I personally liked the idea of sanctionals because of the season, because you had 30 freaking weekends of competition to deal with. It got less and less. It was so watered down because you had so many that I didn't care when, the 11th place person got the invite because the top 10 had already qualified. But I think there is a benefit to having seeing these athletes do it more and more. And if you have a limited season and you give something that's worth fighting for, top 5, you get to skip all this stuff. I think there's a benefit to it.
It's so funny to me because like sanctionals, I think was the final answer. We just implemented it improperly, and we keep backtracking our way back towards it. And it's just hilarious to me because it's like we won't. It's like grid. Anything that looks like grid, people are like, we're not going to do that because grid does it. But it's like it doesn't mean it's a bad idea. It was just implemented poorly.
Yeah. Carolyn Prevost has a good thing. I think it's gotten less than this. I haven't heard it as much, but if you did have direct spots, these off-season competitions, you can't have camps programming those events.
Yeah, I think that goes without saying. I mean, yeah.
Which that was
you would
big
think it
last
should
year.
go without saying, but I don't. I think you'd have to say it with some of the people at HQ.
Rich Froning is not allowed to program any of these competitions, guys.
I've not heard that as much this year. Like last year, that was the big thing, right? Like Dubai is programmed by HWPO, and HWPO had Madrid Championship. Like I think maybe Proven had one. Like Rich was in one. Like that was the big thing. Which camp is going to program it?
I think all the competitions should program for themselves, and if they want help, then HQ will help them program. If they want outside programming, they don't want to do that themselves, then like that's who you go to. You don't go to anybody else. Right. I mean, I guess Josh Bridges, Chris Spieler, like people like that is fine, but like nobody associated with any of the people, like Carolyn said.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I think it has some legs if they do it that way. I don't think Dave's structure holds a whole lot, but it is. If nothing else, I hope that maybe a few just decide to compete. Maybe Laura will throw down. Maybe Jeff will change his mind and go to Wadapalooza and compete as an individual.
Hey, do you guys know? I don't know. I don't know if Barkley likes me or hates me. I don't know. I've met him twice, and he's always been nice to me. We all hate
you, John.
But I'm not quite sure if he likes me or if he doesn't like me. So I'm hoping you guys can clarify it.
I don't think that there's many people that Barkley hates.
I know when Will throws a joke at me, it's all in love. I don't know with Barkley. I don't know him well enough.
I think Barkley's too nice to hate you, John.
He is a very nice guy. That's why I'm asking. Yeah. I don't know if he's just,
LDY 2742 with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you. Plus all this peaking crap, the whole unknown and unknowable is about always being in a ready state. You don't peak for life.
Yeah, I think he's saying all this peaking is crap.
Is crap. I don't know. I mean, the sport, that's if you go back way back, Miko Salo was the one to be ready at all times. And
I would say Rich, because the way Rich trained threw Annie in the dirt.
My thing is
way back
all of these athletes are peaked for life at all times. Like even if they took 10 weeks off, they're peaked.
I don't know.
Life.
Tia 5 months ago wasn't very peaked.
She was pregnant. That is life.
Well, actually, 5 months ago, she could have done the quarterfinals. At one point, she could have qualified.
She beat me in the snatch, handstand, push-up workout in the open.
Right, like she qualified for quarterfinals while pregnant. Like that's ready for anything. Hey, at least Will loves John.
Thank you, Will. I love you too.
Anything else on Triple Crown before we move on to the top 25?
No, cool. I mean,
let's do it. I'm excited to see this. Is this the first 2024 ranking?
It's not the first. No, we've done the 24, but this is the first updated ranking since we have a legit competition or one of the Triple Crown events.
One of the
really see everybody come back and kind of get to add it in. Like we get to see how Roman's coming back. We get to see Tia, and so let's top 25. media poll is out. It is on the barbellspin.com/top25. We'll take a look here. On the men's side, Roman Krenikov
Woo!
and Jeff Adler are tied.
They're tied, yeah.
They're tied in points, but Roman gets the tiebreaker with one more. Eight first place votes to Jeff's 7.
That makes me feel good. That makes me feel like my vote matters, unlike when I lived in Illinois.
I had Roman in first.
Look there.
Then you got Pat Vellner in third. Ricky Garrard, he dropped 2 spots down to 4th. And Justin Medeiros moves up 2 spots to 5th. So working down the list here. Dallin Pepper, Brent Fikowski, Lazar Jukic. Jay Crouch moves up 2. Jason Hopper up to the top 10. So a 7th place finish in the at Rogue definitely helped his stock.
See, the fans still have faith in Jason.
The fans do.
Yeah.
Asymmetric years. There's a person that does not love John.
Oh yeah.
Everybody loves John. Everybody loves John. Some people that got pushed down: Jan Koski, BKG, Yellow Hoste, Sam Quant. All because of Mr. Hopper himself. Travis Mayer up to 16th.
Up 16th. Still too low, but I'll take it.
That's 11 spots out from where he needs to be.
Yeah, I'll slowly chip away at that.
I don't know if John, if you saw it, but Jason Hopper moves up 4 spots in the 10th. Oh, you're muted. There you go.
I think I had him in 10th. Did I? Do you know? Can you have a list in front of you? Can I see everybody really quick? Really quick. Oh, Jay Crouch 9th.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, I think did Justin climb the?
He went up 2.
That's pretty crazy for not competing, huh?
Yeah. I don't know. Like he passes Dallin and Brent on I don't know what.
Yeah, that 3rd and 4th place showing really put Dallin and Brent down a peg. 4th and 5th place showing.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
It is interesting to see how people's perspectives change. But I mean, I guess if you look at Rogue, Dallin struggled the first few days, had a pretty good last day, but and Brent was just Brent at Rogue, right? Like doing what he does. Yeah, moving down the list. Travis Mayer, that's where we kind of left off, moves up to 16th. Tyler is disappointed.
On his way to the top 5.
That is. I wonder how much effect I'm having on that up 6.
I think 0. Did you put Travis in the top 5?
I think I put him at 7th. So I
what?
thought about it.
You could have claimed top 5 and then do it.
Because it's like the same reasoning that you have on some other people. I think that things
I
can
put
go
people where I say I'm going to put them, though.
No, I think he has the capacity to be top 5, but at any given moment, I don't think he's top 5.
You said the market. You were selling shirts.
Oh, he's going to get top 5 at the games, but
that's what this is for, Tyler.
This is the whole season. This is at any moment. If we shot a gun, who's going to?
So you're saying on the mountain he needs to be high.
Yeah, Yeah. That's
okay.
right.
Well, Guy Malheiros for dang sure ain't 18th then.
I don't get my mountain, so this is the closest thing I get to my mountain.
We didn't really talk about it too much, but with the field of 40 now in South America, do you think that helps Guy if he stays?
No.
If he goes back to South America?
If anything, it hurts him. He was kept out because there were not enough athletes to middle him and the other competitors on the snatch. His fitness wasn't represented. His fitness wasn't rewarded. If anything, a smaller field hurts him.
Tyler, I meant to show you this.
He'll get a bigger field though next year.
Oh, Willie, was it
Yeah,
30
no,
last year?
because it's a field of 20. I thought for South
No, it
America.
was 30. Now it'll be 40 in
Okay.
in 24.
Okay, then I think that helps him because it gives
Yeah.
a chance for more weirdos to kind of show up.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't think it hurts or helps him. I think the bottom 10, I wouldn't. Like, it's like me competing in South America, the next 10 guys. Like, it's not. You're not gonna make a difference. Like, those guys are so beneath everybody
that's what they
else.
need from you, though. That's what he needs is somebody like you to be in second versus his first place in the snatch event
In a
to give
strength
more
event. I
separation.
guess you're right. No, you're right. You're right. That's a great point. Did y'all see Pinheiro on Brian Friend's podcast today?
No,
Dude, he had Pinheiro in the top 200. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I said, is that the roided up girl? And I, he was, Brian's political, so like he's tried to beat around it. I'm like, answer it yes or no, Brian. You know what I'm talking about. Is that the roided up girl? And then she goes, yes, I'm here in the comments. And I was like, oh snap. It was just really funny for me.
I mean, she's what, in the 40 to 44 age group?
Yeah, she's in Sam
And
Briggs' age
she
group.
is wild.
Tyler, hold on real quick. Tyler, I meant to show you this, and I'm just now showing you this. I don't know if you could see it, but I met this fine couple at Rogue, and they had this shirt on. And I was like, I have to show Tyler this, and I took a
Hell
picture.
yeah! Peter said he was somewhere and got a bunch of questions. So that design's good. We'll have to do a new one closer to the season.
We need to make a mountain shirt.
A mountain shirt would be good.
Yeah. Can
Take
you
like an
climb the
old
mountain?
Rockies logo. Use that.
Yeah, we could figure it out.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Hopefully Travis is still watching, or he'll catch up later. Chandler Smith dropped down. I took him out of mine. Apparently, some people think that he's gonna hang in there on the individual competition.
So I just think this is, some people took him out because of team, and some people just didn't.
Yeah.
And this is the average.
Yep. Not a whole lot of change after that. And then, any guesses at 25th? Somebody new to the rankings.
James Sprague.
No. You're gonna like it, John.
Austin Hatfield.
You got it.
They both should be in the top 25. So I don't.
James was next. He's
26, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Those two, I think, are ahead of the. Austin Hatfield should be higher. I know
he'll be at Wapalooza, so he'll be at the
that'll be
third
fun to see.
event to see how well he does.
I really think, and I mean, Wapalooza will be the first big competition he does, right? Like legitimate one, not like semifinals. And Crash, it'll be better people than he won't be supposed to be top 3, right? So I'm interested to see where he does against elite talent, and not just like 5 elite guys where he's supposed to belong. Because like Crash is more of a semifinals event, Wapalooza is more of a elite event.
But Austin did beat Sprague, and he did beat Colton.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm interested to see how he does. Like, say he gets like 8th at Wapalooza.
Where was Colton on the list?
18th, 19th. I think.
19th.
Which I think is about the right setting for him.
I got shit for last time for not putting him in my top 20, and I did put him in my top 20 this time. So
you influenced that ranking. He was 20th, and then you
bumped him up
there. All right.
Who are the biggest movers?
Travis Mayer.
Travis and Jason were the 2 biggest movers up.
Yeah. So Jason, I don't know. 4 doesn't really seem like a huge jump for him, but it does seem weird. I guess Rogue helped him out. I mean, people are hype off Rogue.
Jason?
Travis, yeah.
It's hard to put it past 10th, man. Like I know for you it's not, but
it shows to me. It showed that Jason still can. I mean, a 7th at Rogue is somewhere in that 9 to 12 range, in my opinion, of where you finish at the games. Right.
Sure.
Depends who you are, but yeah, I agree.
Right. If you add Medeiros in there, as long as he comes back and is somewhat close to what he was 2 years ago at the games, like he'll leapfrog. So I mean, he's kind of in that range. It just depends on how he pulls it together and what events are out there for him.
Travis, again, another rogue effect, I'm guessing. But then the biggest mover down is Chandler, right?
Just Chandler, and then
that's just because you're checking him out of team. Like he's going team.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's where we believe he, and that's same thing with Noah too, right? So both of them haven't received points from everybody, so they're not in there. So on the women's side,
dun dun dun.
Tia Claire Toomey, number 1.
I can't believe it's that close.
Yeah. I mean, it's only 6-point difference, but 11 first place votes. They all were split between Tia and Laura.
Yeah. I guess that's fair if you're not. Yeah. I see that.
And you got Emma Lawson, Alex Kazan, Gabby Magala, Alexis Raptis, Ariel Lowen down 2 spots to 7th.
That's probably a rogue effect, but I think that's kind of going to be like, I think Ariel Lowen's going to regress to the mean this year.
Yeah.
Sarah Cooper. How is Colton 19 but not on the mountain?
He's at base camp. Sarah, calm down.
That's close.
Well, the mountain, people forget the mountain is like the bottom of the mountain's 15 or something, right? It's
less than. It's like,
no, it's like
13 to 14th.
It's like 12. It's like a 10 for the women, and it's like 12 for the men.
Yeah.
It's men and women. Everybody can't be on the mountain.
No. It's
limited elite company.
Emma Carey, Danielle Brandon, Katrin David's daughter. Now it starts to get a little interesting. Paige Powers moves up. Haley Adams moves up too.
Where was Wells. Mal? Wow. Why
Mal drops
above
3.
Mal. Oh my God.
This is so wrong.
Oh, poor Tyler.
What's wrong, Tyler?
I don't know. Like, I don't believe John's hype on Haley. I've made that broadly clear.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you on this ranking. I'm with you, brother. I'm just not as down as you are on Haley, but I'm the same high as you are on Mal.
Yeah, Mallory to me is top 5, like around. She's hovering around 5 somewhere at all times.
The question is if she competes. I know Haley said, I think on Snapchat, people have said that she's confirmed it. Pedro had the other Haley confirm that she's going to compete. Yeah. Mal, I don't get that sense yet that I can say for certain that she's going to compete.
You know what I could see from her? Like her just training, but not hardcore training. Like if something hurts, not going to push through it, be an easy day, not have those like hard, you got to live in hell days. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then she does the open. Oh, I'm 5th in the open. That's kind of cool. And then does the quarterfinals. Hey, I'm like 4th in the quarterfinals, because that stuff is all going to be stuff Mal's just amazing at. And then she's going to make semifinals. And then at that point, she'll be like, I'm going to do it. And then, but like she won't say that until after quarterfinals. Like just compete, no just no pressure, but I'll do the open workouts. I'll do the quarterfinal workout. Right?
You don't think there's any pressure if she actually does sign up?
No. Like I'm saying, she's like if for her, if she just goes, like I'll do the open just to do the open workouts, but like not say I'm doing the games, right? Like don't like she's not. I see her not saying that until. She could
not say it, but the minute that she is entered into the open and submitting scores, we're all going to.
I don't think there's pressure for her. Why?
I don't know if we would say we're putting pressure on, but the minute I see her competing, I move her up the list.
For sure. But I don't think there's any pressure on her. Do you think she's going to beat Laura Horvath this year?
I doubt it, but I think
still just yes or no. Do you like Laura Horvath and her?
If I had to answer no,
right? That's the level she was at. And if you don't think that she's going to be at that level, I don't either. Nobody does. Nobody thinks she's going to be at the level that she was at. So then there's no pressure. You just go out there and do your best and see what it is. If she
Unless-
gets set,
Well, with that said, if she came out and just destroyed everybody in quarterfinals,
quarterfinals doesn't do anything for me. People like you would get hyped up, and I would be like, "Well, let's see what semifinals is about."
no, for Mal, it does.
Oh, you say like that'll bring pressure on her.
Like, yeah, I think a lot of people will be like, "Oh, Mal's back. She's ready to go." Like, she just won quarterfinals.
I see
Like-
what you're saying.
Like, that pressure comes back externally. She could be all
So
she wants.
but you're thinking she folds at that pressure. Is that what you're worried about?
No, I'm saying she's out in Hawaii right now with her boyfriend doing who knows what. I don't know if she's going to compete. It's kind of like John.
Once that
It's
pressure
kind of like
hits,
John putting her at base camp right now. Like, if he knows she's going to compete, he'll move her up. Like, she and Haley can move up very quickly based on what we start to see from the Open and quarterfinals. At this point, if you're in Hawaii with your boyfriend, I don't.
Yeah.
And all you're not posting. Like, she's enjoying her life. Great. I just don't know if she's actually going to work out. And like,
I just love the way it was so accusatory, the way you said, doing who knows what.
I don't know.
hold on. How old is she?
18,
18?
19 or something like
19, I think.
Dude, when I was 19, I was not going to Hawaii with my girlfriend. That's something I was not doing.
that. It's kind of wild.
She's
I didn't
got
think
first
about
world problems. She's taking that 150,000 or whatever she made at
Well,
the
I
games.
think, isn't her boyfriend like some famous actor or something?
Oh, is he really? They both
Or
have
is
money?
that Haley's? I can't remember. Either
that.
one.
That's Haley.
That's Haley. Never mind.
I think Mallory just dates some redneck boy.
That's right. And throws some noble shirt hats on him and takes them to Hawaii.
Boy, it's not a bad gig if you're him.
So that's. I think there'll be pressure on her if she comes out and destroys it. At least externally, she could. If she's in a better mental space, she can approach it that way. But all of us will be saying she's back. Look at her. Like, she's obviously been putting in the work.
I'm not
Oh,
going to say.
I'll be saying that.
I'm not going to say she's going to be.
Tyler will make a shirt for her.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, Tyler, you're the reason she quit in the first place. That's I just feel like fifth place is where I'm going to put her. And then if she's like, and I have no idea where to put her, but like that's where I'm going to. I don't see her. I don't think she'll be back mentally what she was before, and that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing because before she was a soldier, she was just a universal soldier. Like back in World War II, they gave the German soldiers like meth so they could just run faster. Did you know that? Like in my opinion, that's like the trajectory she was on. She just woke up and just worked, went to sleep. Woke up, worked, went to sleep. And that's why people mentally break, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think she will go back to that place. And that's probably a good thing, but that's what made her so good in the first place.
See,
maybe not. I just don't expect second place from her. So when you say she's back, I don't think she's going to beat that first group of people.
No, but
you know what I mean,
but she's not a 14th the minute that she comes back. Everybody puts her in. Everybody puts her in there, and if everybody puts her in fifth, right? Like she's sitting in fifth.
Yeah,
so.
I'd have Haley like at 8th and her at like 5th.
Right.
And Brooke Wells, I think I'd have exact like around where she's at. Probably maybe 15th.
Working down the list. Again, a lot of these people that are moving up. Annie Thorstadter dropped out, so she was the big one that did drop out. Olivia Kerstetter, Jamie Simmons moves up one. She had surgery on her elbow. She tore UCL during the snatch event. So talking with her, she said she's going to be fine, but
this is interesting. Ellie going up 3.
Ellie up 3, Justin up 2. Yeah. Amanda Barnhart up one. And then Danny Spiegel breaks into the top 25. She replaced Annie on the list.
Where is Colin Brander?
She is 26th.
Yeah.
I'd put, to me, Danny Spiegel and Colin Brander, I see very, very similarly. I know Danny Spiegel maybe has more home run ability, but I think on the other stuff like general CrossFit, Christine Colin Brander is better, especially like muscle up event. But
Right.
like I always kind of associate. I know there are only three spots, but like when I rank them, I always just put them together.
Yeah.
I got no problems with this list. I don't. Do you guys?
What's interesting is the women. I mean, you see how many people got other votes. Not so much on the men, which is interesting.
I think just generally people are less familiar with the women, so they'll just pick a name that they know.
And we've talked about this. Like once you get past the top 20, it's very, very. The rest of the ranking is dictated by the programming. They're just kind of like they're just a step below what the other
and you're
women
biased
are.
based off of what you recall, who you remember seeing do well in something. You know, like Emma McQuaid's a big question mark in my mind. Like she could easily be in the top 25, but we don't know.
She was hurt at the games.
She was, right. So we just don't know how she's going to come back and what that is. Again, she can move up there quickly. A few people still have Annie Thorisdottir. Going to make a hard charge there. Which then new this year or this month.
Oh, that's cool. You get to see who ranked who what.
Yeah. So it is by each person that voted, and it's very slow. There it is. So you can see we're the first three right there. So Tyler has Ricky second.
That's fine.
So, but yeah, you can go through and see how everybody voted for every all 25. So you can go check that out.
Who is the most egregious rankings, do you think? Let me see.
Sevon. It has to be Sevon.
Adler.
I don't know.
Velma.
I've seen like people like Jamie Latimer that throw some weird people out there.
I don't see anything.
No, he's taking this serious, man. Colton Mertens is
Sevon.
20th.
Sevon has Yella at 7th.
Yeah. That's probably the biggest one on the men's side.
He's got Yella ahead of Brent Fikowski. He probably thought of Brent Fikowski and like, I'm going to put the European Brent Fikowski ahead of him.
And then on the women's side, he picks Tia, Laura, Emma. Again, I mean, he's taking it serious.
Look at you.
Do you know what
man.
I thought was crazy? I posted on there and somebody had mentioned, like, was this a popularity contest? And it may have been somebody went and looked it up. Brent Fikowski has the most followers of any male athlete in the top 25. Noah Olson's the only one with more, but he wasn't in the top 25.
I didn't
thought
know
that was
he had
wild.
that many followers. That is pretty wild.
I'm surprised he's got more than Pat.
Yeah, Pat was second or third.
Brent's pretty marketable.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
Pat does so much more competitions than he does.
True. I think Brent puts out some more funny content, maybe. Gets that in there. All right.
Oh, they're separated by like 20,000.
Oh, okay.
Brent's at.
Okay.
I mean,
20,000's a lot.
that's a lot. I mean, that's 18,000 more than I have. So, that's what they're separated by. There's at 664 to 640 something.
Okay. John, weightlifters. So
Sure, let's talk about them.
John, how many followers do you have?
Like 2,500.
No, I need to know exactly how many you have.
Oh, why are you around there?
I'm just wondering.
I don't post much, man.
I think he's got more than me. Yeah. So I got
I have 2000.
2172.
Oh, amateur hour. My JY Barbell Club's got more than that. Good
No
grief.
way. How many you have?
Well, Hiller bought like 1,500 of them, so that one doesn't count. The 2,485.
Okay, all right. I'm not that far behind. I'm coming.
You're coming.
Moving up quick.
I just gotta post. If I posted one weightlifting thing a week, I think it would grow a lot. But like I post like once every 2 months.
Yeah, that doesn't help the algorithm. John, do you want to help Tyler understand and introduce him to this guy in the upper right corner?
I did my research, but continue.
Oh goodness! Tell me about him then, man. Let's hear it.
I mean, he's
Don't
a
read
weightlifter.
Don't read
He's
his
a weightlifter.
Wikipedia page.
Yeah, he's pretty freaking good weightlifter.
Is he? Is he the best guy from his country?
Yeah, he's from Georgia.
Well, you'd be like
The
so
country.
wrong.
Isn't he?
Yeah,
Where's he
yeah.
from?
He's from Georgia. You think he's the best weightlifter in his country?
I don't know about that. I just assume everybody in that part of Europe knows how to lift barbells.
Hold on. Real quick. Leslie, you're gonna have to talk up. Okay. Leslie, who is the best weightlifter in the country of Georgia? Lasha who? T.
You cheater.
All right, can you tell Tyler who Lasha is? He doesn't know.
He's the best weightlifter in the world in the history of weightlifting.
Mm-hmm.
He's the strongest guy. He's in the heavyweight, right?
He's in the heavyweight. He weighs
What do you
like
do?
480.
Clean and jerk,
Pierce
was it 250 or something he clean and jerked?
No, like 263.
Okay. Yeah.
He snatched 500. He snatches
That's
500
right.
pounds.
Yeah.
He snatches
knew-
500 pounds and clean and jerks almost 600 pounds.
Yeah.
Pierre Stevens is the best, but if you're talking about straight weight,
He's
I
not.
guess that's
No.
fine.
They even have a little Z-score thing. They call it the Sinclair
Oh,
formula.
the
And
Sinclair?
Piros Dimas don't come close to Lasha.
Really?
It's
I didn't
it's
know that.
crazy what he does. They have everybody ranked weight by weight. He's even better than Pocket Hercules.
Which is crazy
That is.
for a big guy.
Yeah, I tell everybody all the time in the weightlifting community, he needs to just come over here and play left tackle for the Cowboys.
Is
'Cause
500 good snatch?
It's decent. It's decent.
So what about this guy?
Okay, was in the 102 category, I believe, 96 or 102.
96.
And I think he won silver at the World Championships, either the Olympics or the World Championships.
He got bronze at the 2020/2021 Olympics.
Okay, and then right after that, he goes like bronze, and that's the best he's ever done. Okay, he was like, I think I'm just gonna do CrossFit, and it's like kind of really unheard of because it'd be like
That they don't test for anything in CrossFit.
No. I'm trying to think of a comparison for like CrossFit for somebody to leave. Okay, it'd be like if Tia, because Tia did Olympic weightlifting, but like if she was like, I'm not gonna do CrossFit anymore, it takes away from my Olympic lifting, and just left the sport altogether.
Right.
I mean, Tia's a little bit better than this guy relatively, but still, he snatches around 400 and clean and jerks like 460. And he probably has lost weight now because 96 is like 212, 210. And he like 2 years ago decided to say, I'm just going to do CrossFit.
And so you had brought him on the radar a few months ago, John, and I came across his post and I reached out to him and started talking with him. He actually reached out. He's working with Brent Fikowski and his coach to learn that. And obviously he's very good at the Olympic lifting. He says he's picked up gymnastics pretty quick. It's now running and just basic kind of CrossFit-y type stuff. He's trying to get it.
Basically me, but more extreme.
Just basically you. That's it.
But more extreme. Like all the stuff I'm bad at, he's worse at. All the
Yeah.
stuff I'm good at, he's better at.
Yeah, he's probably not too bad at sprinting, but he
Right,
might
but
take.
would that be fair to say, Brian?
Yes, everything you're
weakness is-
probably everything you're good at, he's probably good at too.
I
right?
would say
Just-
better.
He could just lift a lot more.
Yeah. Yep.
Like he still has a lot of work to do. What did he do? He had a snatch. He only did one competition so far, an online competition for Ukrainian athletes. But he did a 3-rep max hang squat snatch at 120 kilograms or 264 pounds.
I feel like he should have done way better than that.
He won by like 20 kilograms. So like he knew.
Oh, he probably just stopped.
He didn't. He could have gone higher, but he ended up taking 38th in
because I mean I got
rowing
250. I did that recently for a Waterpalooza qualifier, and I got 252.
See, top 25.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a while. Like it's gonna take a long time for him to even be relevant. Like his fitness is really bad. But if he ever gets like working with Brent Fikowski, that's not a bad guy to be working with. Like if he even gets close to relevant, if his 5K, say he gets his 5K run to like 22 minutes, he has such home run ability that has not been seen. And like his weightlifting has not been seen in CrossFit before. Like people think Guy is strong. Guy don't come close to the world in legitimate Olympic lifting. And like Tia didn't either. She's just from Australia. She made the Olympics because she's from Australia, or not? And she got like 16th. And
you look at Laura in Hungary,
and Laura
the national world record
in Hungary, national world record, right? But like I'll remind, Craig Ritchie's got the national record for Britain. Like there's certain the real deal people in the Olympics that are lifting weights are all 100 pounds over the best people in CrossFit. Yeah. Like the world record for my category, which would be Guy's category, the 89 category, 96, I guess. If you're, I guess it'd be 96 because 89 is like 196. I'm 200, so and it's like 530 for the clean and jerk world record, 530. Yeah. And then snatching is about 185, which is a little over 400. It's like 410. And most people don't realize that. They see Laura, they see Craig Ritchie when he was doing his weightlifting thing, they see Guy, and they're like, gosh, like, they're crazy. Y'all don't know what crazy is. And he is crazy. So like if he were to ever get close, even close to be relevant at all and like make Waterpalooza or could do the road qualifier, we would see stuff that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, like he said he just loves CrossFit. Like he's fallen in love with it, and like he doesn't have to lift. Like, he obviously does because he loves it, but he'd only just focus on running and doing high rep thrusters just to get better at that in gymnastics, and has a shot at it because he'll take first in any lifting event without trying.
I guess.
I think Grace, the stuff that Jeff Adler wins, he would destroy Jeff Adler. Like if his endurance just got okay, he would do 225 for 30. Like he'd do 15 touch and go within 15 singles if he just got it to be okay, right? And go ahead, Tyler. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just saying, like, that's what's interesting to me. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, you have a career as a weightlifter, so why do this? Monetarily, it's a terrible idea. Unless I
don't know what they pay their Olympic lifters in Georgia. America doesn't pay you anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, China makes a good living. China cares about their lifters, but I don't know what Georgia is. I don't know how they do their lifters. I imagine Lasha makes pretty good money because he's the best that ever do it, but I don't know how much they pay their. I know in America you don't get paid like anything.
No,
you get like $15,000. That's it.
That's for the best ones.
Yeah, for our good ones.
Right. Unless you're Matty Rogers, who can get sponsorships, nobody else is making any money.
Yeah, even her, I bet she don't make what you think.
No, I just assume we pay our Olympic athletes the worst of all countries, unless you're like a superstar like Shaun White.
I think you get like a small stipend for going to the training center, right? But it's
you get
peanuts.
like $2,000 a month.
Yeah. Melanie Hodge, thank you. 1999, really appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me company, guys. Happy Thanksgiving and speedy recovery for your wife, John.
Thank you, Melanie. She's a JY barbell athlete. Killing it. I think she's from New York. I got like 7 people that are not where I'm from.
It's growing.
Yeah, it is.
Growing.
I'm excited about it.
This got me thinking though. Like we saw Klokov try it, didn't do so well.
He was a little older too. He did his whole career first and then tried it. Plesnoy, like he left in his prime. Like he's still in his prime. How old is he? Do you know?
I don't know how, but I think he's like in his mid-20s, maybe upper 20s, which is ideal for weightlifting.
Right.
But it got me thinking, and I came across a video. Could an Olympic gymnast qualify for the CrossFit Games?
A real one?
What's that?
A real one?
Yeah. So this guy, I think he got 3rd or bronze in some Olympic event. It wasn't like a total or anything like that, but it was like one of the different things. And so he has a very successful YouTube channel, 1.58 million subscribers. We're close to him, but not quite there. Maybe
this guy. I know this guy. No, the answer is no. Anton's got a better shot than this guy. Anton's 27, by the way.
Yeah.
Look at that. Get out of here, Brian. You'll make the CrossFit Games before this guy. Get out of here.
Now, it was interesting though, because like you think about the women's side, women gymnastics with the gymnastics background seem to do very well.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got this guy who has 0 chance of making it to quarterfinals. Like, what's the difference, do you think, from that?
Well, a lot of women's stuff is pounding. Yeah.
Legs.
Men's all over body.
Yeah, women gymnasts they have very strong legs. And like it takes the balance beam that they do is like you're on your toes and you're balancing the whole thing. The floor routine is all basically legs, and then the vault, you got to run real fast and vault off that little thing. They don't do the rings. They do the bars. The rings is way more upper body pulling. And then for the men, the men is way more upper body. All your gymnasts are 5'4" and ridiculous pulling strength and 140 pounds. They're very, very tiny. If you see like gymnasts in real life, you see them on TV, they look jacked because they're 5'4". They're 5'4", 140 pounds. Because they have to be to do the stuff they do in the rings and to do the pommel horse the way they do it. Their legs are not strong enough, and and where women, they have strong legs and they're short. They're 5 foot, right? Like I know, like Katrin's not, but like I'm thinking of the real gymnasts. No offense, Katrin, you're great, but you know what I'm saying. Simone Biles, freaking 4'8". They have bodies that are great for CrossFit. Everything about it benefits them. And then, they struggle a little bit with wall balls and rowing, but they got strong legs. And I think strong legs is essential to being good at CrossFit. Essential. That's why, you don't see any cross-country runners that make the jump. Right? Like, what kind of, cross-country
getting that strength
runner
takes too long.
Right. I mean, Tunnicliffe, I guess. Tunnicliffe was one, but, she was way back in Tobias.
Yeah.
Whichever one.
Well, but she was doing the boating. stuff.
Right.
too.
Like she had other stuff, right? But like she's the only one I'm trying to think about. And then she's way back in the day. Like I don't
Yeah.
think you can
Like,
do it now.
Sam Briggs came from the triathlon background and running background. But I don't think Sam in today's
She couldn't make
environment
it.
would not make it.
She's not strong enough. It's just a simple fact. And like male gymnasts would not, they wouldn't have a shot.
Yeah. I did think this was interesting. Have you guys ever seen forward circles?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Mm-hmm.
So with the pullovers, like Amy can't even get over the rings or feel comfortable doing it. Is it something we might see down the road by Boz?
I remember seeing videos on that in the past for sure. I know there are progression videos out there for these things.
Guys,
I mean, it's
hold
just a
on.
forward roll.
Let me address this. We are not talking your background. Okay, we're talking a professional. If you are an Olympic gymnast, if you are running a 15-minute 5K cross country, that jump, not your background. Okay, I'm talking about the comments because they're like Vellner was a gymnast, Quant did cross country in freaking high school. Is Justin Medeiros freaking WWE Raw wrestler? No, he wrestled in high school.
Yeah, but Christine was like a level 10 or something like that gymnast. Bailey Rail was way up there. Like they were pretty, I mean, not Olympic level, but they were.
I'm just addressing the comment.
Yeah.
I'm talking professional.
Yeah.
Like the way Plesnoy is trying to make the jump for, like, I don't even, I mean, like Fraser never made the Olympics either. He was Olympic back team.
Yeah. And a junior level.
Right.
United States lifter. Back to the forward rolls.
You saying United States is trash, Brian? Is that what you're saying?
In weightlifting, I think you would agree.
Yeah, no, I would. I just want to hear you say it.
But could we ever see forward rolls in the era of Bosman programming?
Yeah, 100%. I think so. I mean, we've already seen backwards rolls. This is not different. It's just the other direction.
Yeah. Do you think it'd be hard for anybody who could do the handstand push-up? Because I can get inverted on the rings with a handstand push-up, and that's like, the first half of that. Right. I've never tried a full thing, a full roll. Tyler, can you do one? Have you tried?
I've tried to do them. It's hard. The locking in the rings is weird. Your orientation, it's strange. There's definitely a skill you can learn how to do it. It's just all about learning how to grab the ring. I just never learned how to do it
on the forward roll.
Yeah, the same thing as a back. Have you ever tried to do a backwards roll? It's the same thing there. It's just about the rings.
I think I've done a backflip into a muscle up, where you like swing and then you kind of like backflip and catch yourself, but it hurt like a lot, and then I never did it ever again. But I'm pretty sure I made it. It was just really cranked my shoulders doing it, so I didn't do it again.
Forward circles aren't hard. Like that's probably the same saying as like the pullovers aren't hard, but you're gonna have people like Hopper who struggle with them, and some people pick it up very easily after trying it for a bit, and it is something. I just thought it was interesting to see that. It was just something new that, as you think about the gymnastic skills that Boston wants to implement, could we see it down the road?
I think you definitely see it at the games with, like, you've already seen. To me, there's no difference between programming a backwards roll on the bar and programming that. Like, it's just the one he happened to program.
Right. And if you're good at them, you just go around in circles like the guy did. If you suck at them, you come back down and you got to go do another muscle up to get back up there.
I think we'll see strict pullovers before we see that.
Maybe.
Where you do, like, you have to do a pull up and then go over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like chin has to be above before you can do a pullover. Like that's the standard. I think we'll see that before we see anything like with the rings. I think after the ring handstand push-ups, I fail, I guess you would say.
Yeah, those aren't coming back.
I just feel like they want to stay away from the rings.
I don't.
Yeah.
This is not analogous to that at all, though. This
I know
is
you're a
totally
big fan of doing stuff other than ring muscle ups, though. You're screaming for stuff on the
Well, that's
rings.
what Boz has
not
said,
ring
Yeah.
muscle ups.
right? Boz is like rings aren't rings, jump ropes aren't jump ropes. So,
Yeah.
rings aren't muscle ups. So
No, y'all could be right.
It's
again,
just
it's
the-
one that you have a clear standard. Like you're locked out at top, you have to flip around forward, and you got to get back to the top. However you get there, whether you come back down and got to do a full another muscle up, good luck. Or if you can go around and do circles like Medeiros did his pullovers. Or
The
Daniel
only-
did.
The only thing that I don't like is, like, to me, the snatch makes a lot of sense because like if you're good at the snatch, it can correlate to a lot of different other types of fitness. Like you're probably good at back squat, your overhead press is good. Like there's other correlates. But like if you're good at forward rolls on the rings, like, or even if you're good at like doing 20 forward rolls at the rings, I don't know that correlates to another type of fitness. You have a strong core, but like what else?
I agree. What else does it? What else? I agree.
The same can be said for the bar pullovers that we did. It's like it's a skill, but
It's
like
just a
why are
party
we
trick.
testing it? Yeah, it's kind of a party trick. And so like for me, while I do want other things, it's like I don't know, the muscle up is a fitness thing. Like there's a ton involved there. You have to be able to breathe, you have to be able to pull, pressing blows up eventually, and doing that under like aerobic duress is a skill in and of itself. With forward rolls, it just doesn't, I don't know, it just seems like a party trick, like John said.
Yeah, I thought the crossovers were party trick too, but
I agree with that.
they're here. So like it's definitely gone a different direction
Great.
since Dave. Whether he reins that back in or he lets Boz continue down that path, we'll see. But until then, it is time for Thanksgiving. So Tyler,
real
go
quick-
back and what's that, John?
So I was thinking, I wanted to bring this up just at the end so people could comment. I feel like a whole bunch of people enjoyed the mountain, and we wanted to do that for other things, but we really don't have a lot of ideas for other things. So if anybody wants to comment about like, hey, do one for this or do one for this. One that I thought about, I wanted to get y'all's opinion on it real quick, is a historical mountain of just peak level fitness. So for instance, like 2018 Fraser, you'd only have 1 year and it'd be whatever year that I thought your fittest year was, right? 2020 Tia,
An all-time year of
an all-time mountain, 2015 Rich, right? Or like where I thought your peak fitness was, you have 1 year and then a historical mountain of the greatest of all time, and then have it with girls and guys. I thought that would be cool. That's just something I thought of off the top of my head. But if anybody has any ideas and we like them, we'll do it.
Carson Mountain.
Hey, I will 100% make that mountain, and you already know who's at the top.
Hiller's got to make that mountain. I'm sorry.
That's
That sounds more like it. That sounds more like Hiller.
Pedro and Hiller talked about that on their the podcast. That was actually a really good show. So if you haven't seen it, go to Coffee Pods and Wads, check it out. Guys, hopefully John, you get out of the hospital there, and Tyler, hopefully you get some better internet soon. So until then, we'll see you next week.